Hi, today I'm making yet another Christmas card, as all I seem to be doing at the moment. We'll soon be back to doing birthday cards and everything else. But today I'm going to use, I have some different coloured cardstock. I've been doing a lot of white on white, and then you end up where you're running out of your white and you think, what else have I got that I can use? And we've all probably got coloured cardstock that we don't use, so I thought I'd go with the same sort of principle of, you know, white on white. I'm going to do a brownie colour on brown, and I used a napkin. So if I'm visiting anyone at the moment and they've got any lovely napkins, I tend to go, could I have a couple please for my card making? So I've taken one layer off of a napkin, and then with my top layer of cardstock, I thought I wanted to give it a little bit of sparkle and texture and a bit of something to it. So I used some distress ink and just went around the edges, giving it some darker colour. And then I used my gold gilding wax with a little sponge and just did the same thing, just brushed it all around the edge so that I've got like a lovely shimmer to it. So I quite like doing fancy, you know, I like putting as much on a card as I can and to give depth and interest. So I thought I would go with that. I've also got some fabric stars, which I thought could go there somewhere. And then I do love flowers on a card anyway. This one I've done in blue, but I thought if I stuck with the neutral colours and actually did some neutral flowers to go on it, it would decorate it quite nicely. So that's the thought process. But first of all, I've got to get this onto here. So let's do that now. So just move that out the way a minute. Oh, actually, I'm going to need that and move that out the way. Other way around. And then that should be just sticky enough to hold the napkin in place. So I'm just roughly putting some glue where it looks like it's going, because once you add the glue on the top, it should be okay. So I think about there, and I'll just pat that down and just lightly go over the top. Don't want it too thick. And that's why I had some glue left in the bottle and I just added a little bit of water. And it's worked out really well. It's using it up and not leaving any in the bottle. If you have Mod Podge or any other kind of glue that you use for this, then obviously use that. But I just find that this works quite well and dries nicely. And all I did was tear around the pattern on the napkin. You don't want it too heavy on the glue. You want to keep it as nice and light as possible. Just enough to adhere it to the card without soaking it. And don't worry if the tissue tears in any way. It doesn't matter, because we'll be adding more to it. I hope you're all doing well with your card crafting and anything else you've got going on in readiness for Christmas. So there we go. So I'm just going to use my heat tool probably just to dry that off a little bit quicker, and I'll be back in a moment when I've done that. Okay, I've given that a little bit of a blast. It's not completely dry, but it's not too bad. So then I can add some more detail to it. There are going to be places where I might want to put some glitter or something, but I like to do some rubber stamp that I've got that creates like a crackle effect. And then I have some little splats. That's enough of that. And then I'm going to work out a way to... The sparkle might come from the flowers. So, but the idea is that this will be glued onto here. So I'm going to add that now. Again, just using some all-purpose glue. Pop that about there. And then the idea will be to have some flowers around like that. And then I just think that that creates a really nice look, something a little bit different. So I've just glued that onto there. I'm going to set that to one side now and do my flowers. So I think I'll have one large one, one smaller one, and all I do is I use up. If you've got a lot of, I've got a lot of old bits of pattern paper that have that I won't. I've had for ages and ages and ages, and I know that I won't use it. So usually the cardstock is white on the back, so I just use that up for when I want something to cut out that I want to add colour to myself. So I've just cut out a load of different sizes. It's just, and I don't always do them stack them in the size order. Sometimes I mix them up and do them a bit different. So all I'm going to do now is, with my brush, I'm just going to distress them. Okay, that's those done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I've got an old paintbrush here, I'm just going to curl the edges. Simple as that. Just twirl them round. Just to add a little bit of detail. This one is a smaller one. There we go, that's those curled. Now, what I'm going to do now is add some glitter to these parts. Same thing again. I'm going to use my all-purpose glue with some touch of water in. I find that this works really well for decorating and adding glitter to the flowers. So just put a little bit of the glue on the end. Like that. Then I have the tub, and I just place the flowers inside, tap them off, and there we go. That's one done. And I'll get on and do them all just the same now. Okay, so while they'll dry, I'll have a quick tidy up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've decided to do some leaves to go with this. I've just coloured these with markers, added the glue, added the glitter because I wanted to incorporate some of the green that was on the Christmas tree. So I've done some leaves as well. So we'll just let those dry and then I'll come back and look at what else we can add to the card. Okay, so I always like to sort of plan out where things might go. And then if we assemble the larger flower there, and then have two smaller ones there, possibly another leaf, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't get used. That's absolutely fine. I can use it on another card. But I think that would look quite pretty. So I'll assemble the flowers now. I'll probably put a glue dot there first, seeing as that's where I'd like it to go. So if we put a glue dot there, and then you can add the edge of the leaf to that, and then add one there and one there. I think so. I probably need another glue dot to get this flower assembled. Sometimes I use glue, sometimes I use glue dots on these. I'll probably use a glue dot on the base of it, just because these seem to attach them better to the card. The glue's good, but it doesn't always secure them firmly. So if I put that about there, and then I can add some glue, and it doesn't need a lot, and then position that flower on there and just hold that down for a little bit. I'm sure everyone has got lots of things that you can use up in your craft rooms. And I've just posted a load of cards today. That's that one. I think we'll add a smaller one here. Possibly a leaf. I think we'll add a leaf there just to add some colour in there. I don't want too much colour, but just a little bit. So let's just pop a smaller one here. Just a little bit of glue. And the next layer. There. Just hold that a moment. And still, the paper has curled slightly, but I'm not too concerned about that, because once I fix it to the card base, it should be absolutely fine. And if it's not, well, it's homemade with love. And I just add that one layer on there, so you can see you can create some smaller ones, not giving it a bit more dimension to it if they're not all the same size and everything. Just makes it more effective, I think. Okay, so at this point I'll decide if I'd like to add a leaf there. Definitely. So we'll pop a bit of, like you see, it's all old cardstock that I've used, and we'll just slide that in underneath there, and that's that done. Where do we want to add that? Do we want to add that on there or up there? I think possibly there. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the back of this, just a very small amount, and that should be enough to hold that in place. That should be plenty. And then the other flower we can pop there, if I think that it's, oh, should I do one there or there? Maybe there. Maybe that's a bit better. Okay. I'm probably all screaming going, oh, I think that's a bit too much now. But I love making cards that have got lots on. I just love it. The more I can, that's why I seldom make small cards. I tend to make larger cards. Just, I love the more detail I can add to a card, the more I enjoy doing it. So a bit of glue here. There we go. And then I dug out, you know, all sorts of bits of scraps of ribbon in case I wanted to add those to it. But if you could see the state of my crafting desk, it's just I pulled everything out and it's total chaos now. While you're in that mindset of how you want something to look, and you're not quite sure what you're going to use, you end up getting half your cupboards. The cupboards are open and everything's pulled out. And the one thing I have realised is next year, I think I need to start earlier in the year. Just die cutting. Be it sentiments or just to be a little bit ahead of the game. Right, so if I pull this, open this up, and in here I should have some neutrally coloured gemstones. What colour do I want? I think those ones. I'll pop that one in first. So, you know, you don't have to go with your traditional red flowers. You can do them whatever colour you want, whatever colour matches the card you're designing. Pop that one in there. Okay. Pop those away. And now I need a sentiment. Let's have a look, see what I've got. That might be quite nice. Or just a simple Merry Christmas. I quite like the Oh Holy Night, which all I've done is just stamp, and I could pop it in there. And what I want to do first is just to tie it all in. Just to take the whiteness off it. And then what I also might do is use a little bit of my gilding wax. This is just a eyeshadow applicator. Another great tip of Christine Stokes. And if you don't follow her on YouTube, please look her up. There's so many great ideas that she comes up with. Right, so that's that done. Just move that out of the way. Add a bit of glue to the back of that so it's nice and secure. And just slide that in under there a little bit, not too much. And then pop that down there. Okay, I'll get it attached to the card and we'll see it all finished. There we go. One complete card. All sparkly and festive. Didn't take too long. You'd spend more time just using your die cut to cut out your flowers and things, but I'm happy with how that turned out. I'll line it with an A4 sheet of paper just so it's easier to write a message on it and a greeting. And then that's it all finished. Thanks for watching. Please give me a like, a subscribe and follow me for more card crafting ideas. Bye for now.